Crimeycade. I am the mad conservative crime fighter, Stephen Lucas, the 1991 Nintendo Campus Challenge national champion, former Game of the Year, Cup and Ghost Arcade, and I gotta check a few things here. you know, few little tech issues at the very beginning. It's not my end. I just want to make sure that my audio is good, and it is. Thank goodness, because I don't want to be caught flat-footed yammering on stream and nobody can hear me. So, anyway, uh, this is episode 80 of the Crimeycade. Episode 80. And this will be the very last episode of the year, as I am not going to stream on Christmas Day. I am going to stream on New Year's Day, however. So, I'll announce as to what I'm going to do that day. But I'm going to lead off with this. I need to call out somebody. So, this gentleman here, David Figueroa, the little brother of one JP Pitts. We still have a best of 7 challenge to do that you accepted. But it seems that you keep claiming you don't have time to do it because you're too busy wrestling. You're busy on the weekends, you're busy during the week, you're busy during the holidays. It's like you're taking so many bumps in the ring, close lighting your opponents, body slamming your opponents. But you don't have time for best of 7 challenge. You say you can't do it until March. I don't believe you. You know, I hang out with the wrestling business all the time. I'm trying to transition away from it, but apparently I've been sucked back in. Like the Godfather. One of his cronies trying to get away from trying to go straight, and he's like being pulled back in. So David Figueroa, I'm tired of hearing your excuses. I'm just going to point out to you, point blank, I'm coming back to the Goblin Ghost Arcade the weekend in between Christmas and New Year's. I want at least 3 days at the arcade. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Because, the 2-day trips where I just show up at about, jeez. What we got? Oh gosh, I'm about to be joined by somebody. Showing up at about 2, 3 in the afternoon and having to go home Sunday, 6, 7 o'clock. Go all the way home. And so not even get a full 24 hours at the arcade, trying to grind for scores. David Figueroa, school has Christmas break. And this little idiot wants to interfere in my promo. This idiot. You got kicked out of the podcast last week because he decided to take a bite. Yeah, you. David Figueroa, I can't imagine you're dealing with stuff during Christmas week. So I think you need to make a little time, Christmas, New Year's weekend, to step up and face me in the best of 7 challenge and stop trying to put it off. Because my patience is about up. It's time you face me, the challenge that you accepted. No more excuses, no more delays. Show your face at Cowboy Ghost Arcade during the Christmas weekend. And let's get this let's get this best of 7 challenge on, because you always doubted my skills as a gamer. You've doubted my skills as a gamer. You think I'm a fake, a phony, a fraud. And yes, 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 he is trying to duck me. He's trying to duck me. So Tiffany Figueroa, you're on notice. I want you. I want you. Step up to the plate. Quit ducking me. Show up. Quit claiming you have other things to do. Make some time. I don't care what you have to do. Otherwise, I might show up at one of your wrestling meets and put you in a figure 4, or maybe a sharpshooter, or maybe kick, wham, stutter. Got it? Figueroa, answer the challenge. Stop ducking me. All right. And let's get it on. Last week, our guest was Patrick Hendel. He is the 2015 USA 2015 Nintendo World Championship finalist. He is also the 3-time Dr. Mario World Champion. And this is a referral from Mega Richer Man Paul Tessie. Patrick Hendel went to the 2015 World Nintendo Finals, which was ultimately won by John Goldberg. So that was quite the interesting discussion. He is still active in the Tetris and Dr. Mario community, and his goal is to win another Dr. Mario World Championship. And the Crimeycade podcast is on Facebook and Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch, follow me on Facebook.com/thecrimeycade. Or if you're watching on Facebook, follow me on Twitch, rap_sheet. And I upload the past episodes of the Crimeycade at tiny.cc. Well, it's now official that Basic Fun has bought out Arcade 1-Up. Arcade 1-Up, well, its assets. So what does this mean for the future? You know, Basic Fun did their first cabinet. It was WrestleMania with a WrestleFest, and they really should not have put that out because it didn't have. They had to cut characters from the game, cut wrestlers from the game. Yeah, tell me about it. They couldn't put the Legion of Doom in the game. They couldn't put Sergeant Slaughter in the game. So they had to cut them out and just pick 2 random wrestlers for the final boss. And Ted DiBiase's teaming with somebody other than Andre the Giant. In fact, they removed it from the cutscene. Yeah, if that's the first voyage into arcade games, they got a rough road ahead. Because I'd rather have the authentic arcade experience, not a cut down because you had a licensing issue. Well, if you have a PlayStation 5, you might be on the lookout for a recall, because it's been reported that some of these PS5s, the liquid metal is degrading. And it has affected some consoles, whether it's standing up or sitting down. Of course, they claim some up avoids this problem. I don't know how, but that liquid metal goes in between the CPU and the fan to keep the thing cool, the CPU cool, and that liquid metal is not holding up. So I have to wonder if there's going to be a nationwide recall of these game consoles for them to fix the manufacturer's defect fairly soon. I don't own a PS5, by the way. Where's the losers of the Game Awards? Now we know who won the awards, but who are the real winners and losers? Well, I've got my own thoughts on that. So here is my real winners and losers. The biggest winner of the Game Awards is independent creators with lower budgets. It doesn't take hundreds of millions of dollars to create a great game. The fact that a small studio, namely Sandfall, Keepler Interactive, with a passion for gaming, can create a masterpiece that took home more awards than anyone else. 9 of them sends a message to AAA studios. $1 billion budget catering to what the creators want versus what gamers want is not a recipe for success, because the consumer ultimately get what they want. If the studio is only going to create games for a preferred audience, namely themselves, and not a general audience, they will lose their ass. Sony had to learn this financially painful lesson multiple times this year. Some of the greatest video games of all time came from shareware. Kepler had 14 nominations for awards, won 9 of them for Claire Obscure Exhibition 33. And thinking of Sony, the biggest loser was Sony Interactive Entertainment. 19 nominations, with 2 of their titles, Death Stranding 2 and Ghost of Yotei, getting 7 each. 0 awards. 0. Complete shutout and humiliation. Big AAA budget games with DI influence, and it's no wonder they didn't win anything. Gamers want to be entertained. They don't want to be preached to. And they certainly do not want to play as ugly protagonists with the charisma of a damp rag. And I've just been joined by my other feline friend in the house. Anyway. Winner, Nintendo. The tried and true can still win awards. Mario Kart World, despite being on a downswing in player activity, and one of the Big N's original IPs, Donkey Kong, still delivers. They are also the only other publisher to take home more than 1 award after getting the nomination 4 of them. Loser, Erika Ishii. At the award ceremony, she was caught on camera stuffing her face with popcorn and not stopping. And apparently, she was violating the rule in the theater about having food or drink, because that's prohibited. But she, I guess, got special privileges. Well, she was stuffing her face with popcorn. When her face was on camera, she didn't stop. And now it resulted in her being mimicked like crazy for allowing herself to get out of shape and for the roles she previously played, including the main protagonist of Ghost of the Yeti. Loser, Alyssa Mercante. Disgraced Guatu writer who somehow still has a job there, desperately wanted free admission to the Game Awards. She threw a temper tantrum that her arch rival, Smash GT, got invited and she didn't. Should not be a shock. She absolutely hates gaming and in general, as who wants to associate with a raging lunatic who needs to be committed to the psycho ward in the mental hospital? This woman only writes for gaming because there's way too much competition for talking heads on liberal news networks. I do notice that my guests are having technical problems. We're going to get them in a second and see if we can get this going. Anyway, last winner, conservative content creators, their influences have made an impact in left-wing journalists, such as the previous subject, along with left-wing writers, got swept into the dustbin of history. where they belong. The games that won didn't have unwanted political messaging. They were generally fun to play. And they also warned us about what games were disguised as a $50 to $80 campaign commercial that duped you into buying. That fed you their propaganda. And as a result, the studio bent the knee, they lost big, and some of them closed down. Conservative content creators served as watchdogs and were highly effective in depoliticizing the gaming space and preserving it as a place to escape from the real world. And that's the winners and the real winners and losers of the 2015 Game Awards. I have a few more topics, but I'm just going to get to it. All right. I do want to note David, one of my guests having a technical problem right now. So, all right, introducing first, and hopefully my other guest makes it back in. Here's the one of the organizers of the KC Retro Convention in Kansas City, Missouri. Some people say Missouri, but I say Missouri. Anyway, Nate Walker, welcome to the Crimeycade podcast.
How's it going? Can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can.
Great.
I don't know what's going on with David. He's having a technical issue and says he's going to have to go on his phone, but desktop computer apparently is giving him grief.
Happens.
Well, I hopefully he'll come back. Hopefully he'll make it back in. But well, let's just start off. You've been doing the KC Retro Convention for 5 years? 4?
Almost 5 years, yeah.
4 or 5. Okay. Well, give us a quick overview of it.
So the KC Retro is started out in a parking lot of A Game over off 23rd Street in Independence, Missouri, and we built it from parking lot shows to hotel shows to a main convention hall eventually, and now we're trying to figure out.
Oh boy. Test 1 2 3.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you dropped away.
That was weird.
Yeah, no audio either, or no video.
Okay, so I don't know what's going on. I'll try that again if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so KC Retro started out in a parking lot at A Game in Independence, Missouri, and we grew that show from parking lots to hotels to convention centers in Kansas City area, and we've just been doing that for about 5 years, and we try to build the community of retro gaming and support those that are actively involved in growing things like classic Tetris. We've worked with Dr. Mario in the past, and we try to do fun things like a vintage arcade for a pop-up, and we try to do pinball arcade as a pop-up, and it's just something that's we're really passionate about.
And so,
for some reason, you're getting my audio, but you're not getting my video.
No, it's blacked out.
On my phone, I can see it, but let me see if that.
There we go. We're back.
I don't know what that was about.
It got covered up because I saw something. A cover got lifted. Oh, it's gone.
And we're back.
Wow.
You're in the show, it says, so I don't know.
Technology, what do you expect? Yeah, your audio's still good. David Bryant is having issues still. He hasn't. I'll tell you what. I'll hide you for a bit, and I'll give you time to rejoin the pod. Is that all right? Oh, you didn't hear me. All right, I'm gonna take him down for a moment. He's having a technical problem. So we'll have him. Gosh, and this turkey also wants to interfere with my pod. I'm about ready to kick both these guys out. All right. He just rejoined us, so here we go.
Yeah,
Hopefully we're back.
I went ahead and opened it on a different on Safari, and so hopefully Safari works.
All right, I need to knock off that other session. It didn't work.
I don't know what's
Well,
going on.
technology.
Yeah.
I'm gonna you got a ghost session, so I'm gonna kick that other one out. There we go. Still with us?
Yep, I'm here. I just
Okay.
don't out my video for some reason.
I guess we'll have to go audio only. I'll just go solo layout. You'll still be heard.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
All right. I don't know what's going on with David Bryant. He's not been able to rejoin us. So, all right.
That's hilarious.
I know. Well, give me the quick overview. What was your hook into the gaming scene?
I went to a couple shows in the West Coast, and I have always been a gamer myself. I mean, my grandfather had a Nintendo in the basement, and we used to play when I was a kid. We used to play Heavy Barrel, Super Mario Brothers, Tetris, anything he thought was cool. We would play, and that kind of got me into the retro gaming. And at the time, it was still pretty. It was an old system, so it wasn't like I was. It was like in the '90s, so it wasn't like I was playing right when it came out. So he had a passion for the Intellivision and the Nintendo, and I kind of continued on with that. And then that kind of grew into my 30s, where I have been doing shows here. And as you're showing right now, you're showing a video of of this year's show here at Municipal Arena in downtown Kansas City at the KC Retro 2025. So that's what a great show it was. I mean, I had a lot of fun. I think the venue was great. We had a great opportunity to have food trucks and people playing in the arcade, and obviously a lot of retro vendors.
You're down. I had never been to Kansas City, believe it or not, in my lifetime. Even though it kind of seemed like I've been to Omaha, Nebraska, but somehow I missed KC.
Yeah, and I think I've actually met you at Mo GameCon one year, and you gave me one of your cool cards, and I thought that was those trading cards you have, and I thought that was really cool. A really interesting way to meet people at a show.
So, yeah, I got in the car, drove all the way, and listening to the Kansas City Chiefs lose to the San Diego Chargers in the opener.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it was all downhill, mostly downhill for the KC because now we're out we're without Patrick Mahomes now,
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
and they're out.
Yeah, but it's you have bad years, you have good years. I think the last year was very lucky in the way that they approached the Super Bowl and how they made it. And then this year we just didn't have luck on our side, and sometimes that happens.
Yeah, and the doggone Patriots had the world's easiest schedule.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, but this is about football, even though there's a game going on tonight. But geez, so yeah, I had a hard time finding this venue. How did you select this downtown venue?
It's a good question because we were looking for something in Missouri. We'd rather be in Missouri than from a logistics standpoint. There's some things that you can work with certain sponsorships, and certain people are more willing to work in Missouri than say Kansas. We've
Right.
had shows in Kansas in the past. We just wanted to try something new. This area opened up, and we hadn't heard about it. Hadn't had a show in a while at this venue, but we took the chance, and I think the one of the hiccups was parking. So we're looking at changing again our location again for a future show, looking about going back to Overland Park and a place that has a lot more parking availability.
David Bryant just told me that he has an emergency at home, so he cannot join us now.
Okay, that's
Oh,
unfortunate.
well, yeah, that happened. But yeah, deal with the deal with what's going on at home. Podcast can wait.
Yeah,
Anyway, and I'll just wing it with just you. You
that's
get
okay.
the solo. You get the solo. You get the solo show tonight, even though nobody can see you, but they can hear you. So
I don't know. I don't know. It says I'm in the show and the video is recording, so I don't know what's going on with my
it's
phone.
recording, but a black screen.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Oh well, it is what it is. So
Well, what you're looking at right now, I'll explain what you're looking at. This came from a collector in Kansas. His name's Sean Murphy.
mhm.
His group, I'm blanking on their name, but they're a local group here that provides arcades for different shows, and it's mostly Japanese rhythm games. And,
Yeah,
and you can see that that's what you're looking at right now. One of the games there. Um, and if you look around the corner, we'll see if we get another chance. But there's the vintage arcades there, Pac-Man, and I can't really Space Invaders. I'm trying to read the tops of the keys.
Splatterhouse, which was a two-button game, and then they only installed one button, so that's not even playable. On the other side, there's a Wacko, uh,
Yeah,
Tron. Obviously, the row of pinballs over there. Uh, I'm trying. I'm like waiting for this for gameplay of this one because I had not seen it before.
yeah.
Uh, these
Some of the games
rhythm games.
that we had there are one of two, one of ones, things that didn't make it to the United States. That they made it into private collections.
Unless they showed up at a round one, because I know round one has they is typically known for bringing in Japanese arcade games.
Yeah,
So it might have showed up at one of those. Who knows?
yeah, it's true. I mean, it's the draw for these machines is huge, but the fact that just because people who can't get to them, they can't go to Japan, so they can
Yeah,
not play them here, which is fantastic.
Gun Bullet X, and that's one of the Point Blank series of games.
Yeah, that's a fun game.
Let's see, we are at this thing.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even. This thing is. I can't remember the name of that one, but
It's
it's a fast
basically,
machine.
yeah, you touch the buttons around the ring.
Yeah,
Um, there's a title to it. I'm just pan up to it. I think it starts with a V. I know that. Uh,
yeah. These games were a lot of work to get in the facility, but it was well worth it, I think.
I can't pronounce that name. I saw it for a second there.
Yeah,
Um, I think this is my initial walk around. I'm just kind of stumbling around and waiting for. I was waiting for gameplay of this one too. The Rhythm Vader. Um, oh, Mr. Viking was another one. Super Dodgeball. That Punch Out, unfortunately, was not working. Uh,
yeah. Unfortunately, the guy that brought the arcades did not stay around to fix them the first day, so we had to wait until Sunday to get some of those fixed.
well,
But
that's no good. There we go. Wacko, Root Beer Tapper. Um,
just a pretty large arcade for the space we had. I think we only had probably three providers for the arcade, so it wasn't like we had a bunch of people involved in that. And I think that if we were to get more people involved, because I think a lot of people, either if they bring one or two arcades, that's still giving us a lot of opportunity.
Missouri GameCon hasn't had arcade games in the house for years. And it turns out that I'm like bringing my two bar top multicades just so they have an arcade game to play.
Yeah.
And it's been that way for almost every year except for a couple of them. I could, because they don't have the space.
Now you're looking at the KC Droid crew that brings in Star Wars stuff.
Yep.
They were having a lot of technical difficulties too,
There's
unfortunately.
that computer space back there.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to mention earlier. The yellow computer space.
I ended up doing a separate video on just that one because I didn't quite focus on it enough. I had never actually played it until KC Retro.
Yeah, it's
believe it or not.
It's a very rare machine.
Yes. Gosh. All right, so let's go back. There's Nintendo Men's who she allowed me to crash at her table since we kind of previously met at Midwest Gaming Classic. She allowed me to crash at her table for a while to
great people
chill.
that show up for KC Retro. A lot. We love the community. We love some of the members of the community. Now you're looking at Ben Bizzle and Filthy Game Rooms.
Yep.
Yeah, they had a great showing as they always do. They went all out this year, bringing some of the displays and some of the space they were using was pretty crazy. Some of the stuff.
So you had the year one, which you told me about a little bit ago. Somebody said they've seen Groove Coaster at round one. There we go. So we start with year one, humble beginnings, and you transitioned and came back for year two. How did things evolve?
So by year two, we were in a hotel. We were in Stony Creek, and we had an arcade there. And we had it was in, I think it was either December or August. I believe it was August the first time we did a show at Stony Creek. If you're familiar with Stony Creek, they have pretty large ballroom areas. So we were able to bring in about 50 more vendors, and we had a separate room for the arcade. And so it just grew from there. We had a lot of success with that, probably a few hundred people in attendance, and then just kept on growing from there. And the next time we did a show was after the second time at Stony Creek was at Overland Park Convention Center. And there we kind of went kind of all out and went kind of crazy on scaling the business and scaling the size of the event.
Yeah, I wanted to go that, but I had to do something else, which is why I was glad I was able to make it this time around. So Overland Park, and that was on the Kansas side of the river.
Yep.
How big was Overland Park?
At about the same size as what you're looking at right now, about 30,000 square feet.
And one level or two?
One level. That first year. And the second year we had a second level for cosplay competition and panels.
Now panels.
We did not have panels this year.
Did not have out. Well, who did you have the third year, if any?
Yeah, so we had people like Jay from the Game Chasers, Adam Koralik. We had, I'm trying to think who else we had that third year. Random, we had random panelists. I think we also had guests that were part of, that came in and walked, were with Jay or with Adam. So people like Steven, or not Steven, 16-bit Pete, and other folks like that who helped us get more attention for the show because they're very good at networking and getting other YouTubers involved.
Speaking of YouTubers, jeez, I took your side on this one. We don't want to go into the details of what happened, but you know, there are there are risks, and some YouTubers are a little bit controversial. You kind of had
Absolutely.
to throw you kind of had to throw somebody out after the fact, which I think was the right call. Um, I mean, how do you find your because the YouTube content creators is a pretty much a mixed bag. Some are some might like to showcase their gaming skills. There you're back! Yay! Your
I,
video's
I did.
back.
I don't know what I did.
Anyway, anyway, they're DJ streamers. There's like political talk, and obviously I'm filling the niche of interviewing and profiling other gamers because oh, it's on again. Whoa! Something happened there. I just muted your mic.
I don't even know what's happening now.
No, I don't. The background noise. I guess the audio just spiked. Oh, he's gone. Ah, all right. I'm gonna take. Oh, he's back. All right. Hopefully, it stays stable.
Can't hear anything.
Testing 1, 2, 3. I can hear you. So there you go. All right, it's back. Or you're ripped. Anyway, if you can hear me, go ahead and continue. Or you can't hear me. All right. All right. I'll tell you what. All right. I think what we'll do at this moment, I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to chat with Nate Walker for a second. And while that's going on, excuse me. Get this down for a second. Gonna take a quick break. I'll be back in about 30 seconds. Stand by, and we'll be right back. Media assets. There we go. All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're in a All right.
Okay.
If I could turn this off because it's like I'm bouncing from. Got too much scroll to go through here. Here we go. We are back. Don't touch the device you're using. Don't
Okay.
bump it. Don't bump it at all. And
All right.
maybe it'll behave itself.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. All
Okay.
right.
I switched to my laptop.
Hopefully it'll behave.
Yeah.
All right. Let me put this back up on the screen. The KC Retro Walk.
So you were talking specifically hinting at the fact that we had to be careful who we bring to the show YouTube wise. That's very
Well,
true.
it's
I think
anything.
so. We did make the executive decision to not invite them back. We didn't ban them or anything. The word wasn't used ban, but they went back onto YouTube and said that we banned them. They were on a big live stream where I was involved in the live stream for YoCal Live and or whatever the name of that
Whatever the
show
heck it is. I'm not. Yeah, I didn't. I recognized one of the names with that group, but I never watched their show before, and it's like, so that's why they got in trouble. It's
A
not
little
like
weird. Little
not
weird
like
how it happened.
it's not like Cody Dennison who was disinvited to a con like a month beforehand. This was after the fact when he was caught misbehaving. So anyway,
Yeah.
but how do you decide who to bring in? I guess.
You try to find people that are going to be popular and most people want to see. And then when you invite one person one year, you try to invite someone else the next year to try to create diversity and who's coming to the show, who's hearing about the show. How do you basically invite people so they help grow the show. That's the
Right.
main idea there. And
Yeah,
now
no,
we're looking at Nerd
Maybe-
Nation, which is a brand new store in. They have a brick and mortar here in Shawnee off of Shawnee Mission Parkway.
Mhm.
You're looking at Michael's shop, who's a YouTuber himself.
There's that
And then this is you're panning to
Japanese consoles.
yep. So Famicom mostly. There's a really cool Famicom box, Super Famicom box, the hotel unit there.
Yep. And they had some games there. They had those.
They sold a lot of Famicom carts. That's John.
Yeah.
That's my friend. That's my buddy John.
Yeah, to play these, you can buy a device to kind of plug it in on top and then plug it into your console. Although results may vary. I own a copy of Gradius 2. It works on my Retcon 3, but it doesn't play right in my regular NES.
And there's John there in the blue shirt. He's got a lot of friends in Chicago. He grew up in South Bend, and he's helping us do some logistic stuff for the show. You ever get him on the show? He has a podcast himself, and he's a very interesting conversationalist.
I gotta look his name up again. Doggone it. It's like I've been on the guest hunt it's been.
I'll type it in the chat here.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh, that was me. Okay. All right. So, gosh, I had pre-written notes and stuff, and I'm just. Well, the tech issues is kind of giving me made it harder for me to get into a groove, but I'm gonna try to get back here.
A lot of graded games there. Or not games, cards.
Yes.
Crazy.
I don't know if I asked this question. So, what was the inspiration to start KC Retro?
That's a good question. I think the inspiration for me was the fact that there was a lack of shows at the time
Mm-hmm.
for folks to to get out and either trade or sell their collections. And that was a big thing, was we had a lot of collectors that were here in Kansas City, but just not an outlet for them. And so we had our outlets were Facebook, and we kind of get on Facebook and we kind of brag about our 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 gets on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, and it was a very toxic environment in my opinion and others that kind of. So we decided we'd try to bring everyone together
Mhm.
and created this community outside of Facebook that would allow for people to grow their collections, meet people with similar interests, and make friends. And that's my buddy Sean and his dad, another Sean. They're selling games there, and that was another thing, is just getting people involved that don't necessarily get out and do that kind of thing. So it was kind of a way for folks to get out of their comfort zone.
And what kind
There's
of
Adam Forlick, or his butt.
I try not to show that area, but
Yeah.
got caught. I wasn't fully paying attention to what I was shooting. I was just like walking around and trying to pan everything. But anyway.
It's funny when you caught that moment on camera. He actually found, he was at that booth and he found a very rare sports game for the Sega Genesis, or not the Sega Genesis, but a version of the Genesis that is only in, there's only like one or two copies of the system itself.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of them's in Texas. I don't know what the name of it is, but it's great that you caught that on camera. He's actually finding a piece of gaming history there.
See, I wouldn't have known. I would never have known that unless you told me.
Yeah, I know a lot of stuff. This is another one of our local vendors, local collectors, and they have a whole. I think his name. I'm trying to think. I'm blanking. And then there's the controversial YouTuber we got.
Yeah.
Very.
I got.
He's a very nice guy, and he plays a persona on camera, which sometimes comes to bite him in the ass. I think that's the key.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I did make an appearance on his live stream, and then I went looking for myself later. But
that was on Sunday. He had a stream on Sunday.
Yep, and I was running back and forth kind of waiting my turn in the pinball tournament. I was in the middle of that.
Another R2 unit?
A green R2.
Yeah.
So what kind of obstacles and hardships did you run into in trying to get the very first KC Retro off the ground?
So obstacles were just finding a place that would host something like this. That was the big thing, is there's not a lot of places in Kansas City that you can operate at. So that's a huge thing, is number one, location is a very important thing when it comes to having a show. We thought
like wrestling
the first show in
business.
the parking lot was great to start, low cost, to barrier entry. People can just have a lax environment to show up at, and there was no cost to enter. A lot of great things with having a parking lot show. And then when we decided to move into a larger location, some of the obstacles obviously were financing the show so that we can rent the space. That was a big obstacle, and it continues to be one for if you want to keep running a show.
Right. Kind of like the wrestling business.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or any business at that matter.
So from there, yes, we touched on basically the growth. We started the parking lot and then moved into a hotel. Then we went into what is it? The convention center in Overland Park. What was the name of that one?
Yeah, Overland Park Convention Center.
Okay. And then over here, downtown Kansas City.
It's part of the Kansas City Convention Center, and it's called the Municipal Arena.
Oh, okay. Now, going to year 4, what adjustments have you had to make over the last
We're gonna have to pivot a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a down market. There wasn't a huge showcase or showing of people for the last show.
Mm-hmm.
We had a down year in attendance, so we lost quite a bit of capital in that just hosting the show itself. We figured it was a risk in itself to even just do one here.
Right.
So the going into year 5, um, we're looking at a saturated market of events, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of events happening in a short period of time. We're looking at people with similar events, so they're taking up the same space as us.
Yeah.
So that's another like barrier to entry. Competing with people we don't necessarily want to compete with, but we're forced to compete with.
Right.
Um, and then just in general, I think my making the decision to bite the bullet and pay that initial bill. So we're pivoting and doing smaller. Going to be doing smaller shows like the hotel room,
Mm-hmm.
a hotel show, or like the parking lot shows. We're looking for those types of opportunities to regrow the business, I guess.
I've never seen a copy of Musha. Well, in a box anyway.
That's pretty cool.
That is,
Oh my god.
yeah. That is that is a shoot 'em up. That is probably the most coveted, rarest shoot 'em up for the Sega Genesis, next to Troubleshooter.
Yeah. And I've not heard of Troubleshooter. I've heard of Musha, but I've not heard of Troubleshooter.
Troubleshooter is kind of like, I don't know, Forgotten Worlds to an extent, except they feature a couple of girls.
Okay.
Kind of similar game mechanics, but from what I've seen online, although it's got more of a story mode to it. But I've never seen a copy of it cheap either, even when it was released. Musha was always like money, cost money, significant money to get,
Yeah.
even back in the 90s. Um, so you're looking to downgrade to a hotel or maybe like a community college?
Um. Yeah. Something like we're looking at basically size of the venue. So we're looking at something that 9,000 square feet size. That would hold roughly 40 to 50 people, 40 to 50 vendors.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we're at 30,000. And I think we're at the 200 table, 275, like somewhere around there
Oh,
on
okay.
that number of people that are involved. So it's a big undertaking to get everyone set up.
Yeah, because you're going downtown. You gotta have a spot to unload and bring everything in from the street, and it's like not an easy thing to do.
No, and this is Eric, and Eric has a show in Oklahoma called Oklahoma Gaming Frenzy. This
Hmm.
is his booth,
Okay.
and just I like doing that because we're kind of as people it's as people are walking through, as you're walking through on your video there, I can kind of tell you a little bit about everybody almost.
Storytellers for, yeah. There was independent fantasy authors there. Uh,
Yes, which I think it's very good for the show, but it's a risk they take, and I think that our show is mostly retro video games, but
right.
there's some people who go just for this reason alone
And
to
it's
go and
gaming
buy
related.
cards.
It's like there's gaming decor artwork that people do want to have to
Yeah.
decorate their game rooms. There has been chatter, a lot of chatter about AI slop. People generating artwork with artificial intelligence, and
Yeah,
you,
I haven't seen it hit the convention floor yet, but I hear about it, and I even did a little bit of that for we used AI to do some of our social media, and we got eat up in the comments about that, but you shouldn't do that. We had a tattoo artist,
Mm-hmm.
which is crazy. That was a great thing, and the great thing to have because she did great.
It is
And then this is Retro
AI
Games
is
KC.
AI is pretty much a tool like anything else. Use it responsibly, but don't use it to cheat, I guess, or rob another creator of their hard work, which
Right.
apparently happened with at another game con. uh, although I do use it to get some backgrounds for making posters. So
Yeah, it's something that I think is just part of technology. As technology improves, AI will improve, and it'll be undistinguishable between real and real artwork and what's actually AI generated. So it's kind of
yeah,
hard to put hard to debate, but I mean I understand why it's important not to have it in this space
right.
because this space is for artists who are working their butt off day in and day out with using their hard earned skills of years of practice and creation. So I understand it. I mean, it's kind of, but it's really hard to police as a con host.
There is another issue with AI. Um, it's being blamed for the spike in memory chip prices this week. There's a few articles that came out saying that gaming laptops may be coming with only 8 gig RAM instead of 16 because of the memory chip shortage,
Wow.
and computers are gonna have less installed memory because AI is just pretty much eating up all the DDR5 RAM chips. They're shutting down DDR4 productions. Like, if you got your memory in your computer, uh, yeah, or you have a RAM kit hanging around, I mean, you better hang on to it because these are spiking in price. Although this one went bad on me and I got to send it in for a replacement.
Yeah, good luck, man. That's
Well, it says lifetime warranty on these memory chips, so I better
yeah.
get something back
Yeah.
because I had to
And
downgrade
you're
my
looking at
machine.
this is the guys from Texas, uh, a game chaser, Jay and his buddy, OK Chief. It's his
And
booth
one of
right now.
them passed away recently.
Yeah, Billy, and that's a sad thing because it was really fast. He developed brain cancer and passed away within weeks of being diagnosed.
And he was
Really
supposed to
sad.
be here,
Sad.
wasn't he?
Do what?
He was supposed to come to this.
Yes, he was, and it just it came really quickly.
Yep. So we're heading upstairs. There's stuff upstairs too. The RPG board games were up here, and
Yes, and that was sponsored by a local game store called Level One.
this
They're
is
in the River Market of Kansas City, and you're looking at right now. You're looking at Kensui Fighter, a fighting game that's been developed by a company that's local to Kansas City. It's
yeah,
similar to Street Fighter or Tekken or any other fighting
Samurai
game.
Showdown.
Yeah, and
Almost.
they were doing a paint and take Meeple-a-thon, which is a charity event that raises money for. I don't want to get it wrong, but I think it was cancer research.
Here we go on the board games. And there's some vendors up here with
Yeah, this is Level One right here.
yep.
They have all kinds of TCG board games. They sell Pokemon cards. They sell all kinds of trading cards. Very popular organization. As you see, they have a play area here where you can take a game and play it.
Right. Now on the other side, as we kind of look down from the
Yeah,
skywalk.
Get a little bit of an aerial view there.
We are heading to the other side, and they had the Classic World Tetris Championships for Kansas City.
Yep. So they had their regional this weekend and had some of the best players in the nation show up. Several top 10 players showed up, and this is this is our Potato Place Gaming setup here, where they were raising money for Extra Life, which is another charity that we had present. They sponsored the tournaments and then raised money for entry into the tournament for Extra Life. We were really excited about that. And right now you're looking at John or Joe Sullivan's. Excuse me, I always call him John for some reason. Joe Sullivan's library for retro games, the Retro Game Hunter library.
Yep.
There's some of the test carts there, some of the prototypes that he has that are a lot of his stuff in his library are come from collectors in the area, the Midwest mostly.
Yep. Test carts.
The Sega Pluto.
Yep. Even though it's got a Saturn logo on it.
Yeah, so it's a Saturn prototype. Yep.
Let's see. And I had him on my pod. Let's see. Talked about getting vendors, guests. Geez. Well, let's talk about the other game cons you've been to. You've been to a few, I assume.
Yep. Mostly here in this area. So I've been to Mo Game Con. I've been to Columbia Como Retro a few times since they started having shows in Columbia, Missouri. I've gone to a lot of anime conventions here in town, and I've gone to the big Comic Con once a year. I try to go to here in Kansas City, Planet Comic Con, and then I go to, when I lived in Portland, I went to several PRGEs, which is a great show if you've not been.
Which one is it?
The Portland Retro Gaming Expo in Portland.
Yeah, I've not. Portland, I don't find to be a safe city to go to right now. So
I mean, you're not wrong, but as long as you stay in the convention area, you'll be fine. And even then, it's not even that bad.
Although
I lived there for 5 years.
Oh, okay. Although it's quite a trek because I don't like to fly.
Yes, yeah, it is quite a trek if you're going on Amtrak or taking a drive. It is going to be a long drive.
So I pretty much stayed in the Midwest on game cons. Have you been to and we're about to the end here of this video here. Final shot. Pan from the sky. Have you been to the Midwest Gaming Classic?
I have not, and I keep on skipping it. I need to go. I need to go this year, if anything.
So a little bit of news on that. If you're going to the Midwest Gaming Classic, the Hilton is sold out. So one of the hotels, the one that's directly connected to the Skywalk, is sold out. I had to go. Yeah, I learned that the hard way. I had to go, so I get to stay at the DoubleTree this year, which is across the street.
Yeah.
But this is like the 25th anniversary of Midwest Gaming Classic. I have a streak going from 2004 to 2025. Dan Lucen had to help me figure out how many in a row I've actually been to. I thought it was like 22. It's more like maybe 20.
That's impressive.
2005 was skipped and 2020 was skipped due to whatever reason. They didn't have one those years.
Right. The 2020 year they had to cancel due to COVID.
Yeah. What a mess that was.
Yeah.
Well, where are some of the other cons you would like to attend that you haven't been to?
I really want to go to Retropalooza and either the one I was planning on going to the one in Houston this year or Dallas, excuse me, and it was supposed to be this month. They canceled that, which is sad.
They did.
Yeah.
I did not know that. So Retropalooza was one of the big ones.
Yeah, but they're still having a show in Houston in March, I believe, is the next Retropalooza. I'll try to go to that. It's just a little bit longer of a drive than Dallas. I've been to Houston, but I usually fly when I go to Houston, so I might not fly. That's just one of the shows I want to go to the most because of the relationships I've built with the people that go to those shows. With a lot of the people that support Jay and Retropalooza also support KC Retro. So a lot of the people that are behind the scenes doing that kind of stuff are great people to know in the industry. I'd really like to go to the one in Florida. It's on a beach. I can't remember the name of that one, but I see it in Game Chaser visit videos. And I'd like to go to Southeast Game Exchange at some point. But it's just when it comes down to it, like travel and time and money, you can only do so much, like resource wise.
Yeah.
So I gotta pick and choose.
Plus, I have 2 cats in my house, and I have to deal with them, so I can't really go that far away.
Right.
One of them being medicated
because
she's 18. Yeah. Well, hyperthyroid. Just gotta have medication every so often. Anyway, what's the gaming scene like in KC? Now, I made it out to Draftcade, but that was the only one I was able to make it to.
Well, there's a really nice barcade in Crossroads called Up Down, and they're a corporate chain, so you might have it Up Down in your city. I don't know.
Not in Springfield.
Not in Springfield.
No, Milwaukee has one. I did go to one. Up there.
Yeah. That one's kind of the difference between something like that and a Galloping Ghost or something like that is the fact that there's a lot more people there to drink and to have a good time than there are to like competitively game on a specific cabinet. Like it's not, and the cabinets are not always in the best shape.
Right.
But it's more there for the beer culture, I think, which I like both the beer culture and retro gaming. So it kind of is a place where I like to go to. There's a couple places for pinball. And they were out of business for a while. I'm trying to think of their name. Not out of business, but transitioning their location. It's a pinball company here, and I hate that I don't know the name of this.
Well, I'm gonna look it up. Pinball KC. Let's see what it comes up with. Kansas City Pinball. Is that it?
No.
Solid State Pinball Arcade. That's another one.
Solid State. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Okay. Yeah, apparently. Yeah. Have you ever been to Galloping Ghost Arcade?
Not been to Galloping Ghost. I don't. When I go to Chicago, I don't make it to any arcades really. So I'm thinking about if I go to Milwaukee, then I'll drive and then I'll make a stop at Galloping Ghost just to see it.
So plan an extra day.
Yeah.
Anybody who goes, so I'll warn you, anybody who goes to Galloping Ghost Arcade for the first time, you need 2 full days. You need 2 full days to take it all in because there's that much, and it keeps increasing. And I'm probably gonna start telling people you need 3 days.
Yeah.
So if you got time, you because it's now up to 1,068. I think they're gonna plow ahead and try to make the 1,100 mark, even though they're out of room.
Wow.
So they're doubling up games in the same cabinet.
Yeah, I
So
would think
that's how they're doing it. The
that's a
Neo
lot of
Geos,
arcades.
yes. Um, so how good are you as a gamer? Your gaming skills?
So a lot of my gaming skill is probably shoot 'em ups, and then I'll go that interest transition to first person shooters.
Hmm.
So like Halo, Call of Duty,
Right.
those kind of games where I'm a little bit I can be dangerous, but I'm not very good, so I can be a little dangerous. When it comes to retro games, I try to. I've not beaten Super Mario yet. Or the brothers. I've not beaten it, but I got really close to beating it.
You have
And
never beaten it.
I think I'm bad at the Nintendo as a whole, as like just a retro gaming person. I'm not very good at any of the games.
Okay.
I but I really for some reason am nostalgic over some of them. Um, I don't really I don't know because I feel like I'm not a big retro gamer, but I am at the same time. I'm not very competitive
Hmm.
when it comes to retro games, so I guess I'm not. It's not the only game that I would get really mad at if I lost would probably be Mario Party on GameCube or something. I don't know, or
So
Mario Kart. I'm pretty good at Mario Kart.
right. I'm not. How about fighting games?
I'm terrible. I used to play a lot of Mortal Kombat, but I forgot all the special moves and I can't remember any of them. There was a time where I would just button mash and then
Mhm.
stumble on a few fatalities, but there's so many stuff there for fighting games like Tekken and other games that I'm just like I missed the boat on that, I think.
I pretty much learn one character or pick a character and learn that one and just play that one all the way through the
Yeah.
tournaments. Even
The
though
only fighting game that I am decent at is maining Kirby on Super Smash Brothers Melee, which is not impressive at all.
and that's its own little genre.
Yeah.
Subset of all fighting games because it plays by a different set of rules.
Yeah.
It's not just slug it out. It's just like throw things and just send somebody flying off the map.
Yeah, I enjoy the game a lot. It's a fun series of games.
All right. Well, without David Bryant here, I guess I've we're close to the end. Are you? How good are you at pinball?
My dad is better. My dad is pretty good at pinball.
Hmm.
I don't know how that is true, but it is. But I I'd like to think I've gotten had a few lucky games
Hmm.
where I've gotten really good scores, but I don't know what a really good score is on a pinball machine anymore. Um,
No, it varies.
yeah,
It's just I think more of a deal of how long can you keep the ball in play.
right. I've never really timed myself doing that, but the game the weird thing about pinball is I was really good at the pinball game on Microsoft Office or whatever.
You mean
I could
Space Cadet?
Space Cadet, yeah.
Yeah, that came with the OS. Um, well, I don't know. Future goals?
Um, I'd like to say that KC Retro and I can coexist in the future as a larger show, but who knows? I mean, my goal with that was has already kind of passed. My goal for KC Retro and myself, I've kind of reached that point. So I guess the only thing with goal wise that I see is getting to the point where it's a 25-year anniversary and saying, hey, looking back and saying, hey, all the work that it took to do that. That would be a goal in itself, but I'd like to
long way off.
It's a long way off.
Yeah.
And it just seems impossible with some of the things that are happening in the world, financial, like me as a person. I mean, I think the support is there for it. I think people here want the show to grow and continue. So I think the goal for me in that is just to keep it going and see what happens. But for me personally, goal wise, that's a good question because it's not something you think about every day, but it definitely should be something that I think about every day. I'd like to be financially independent of where I'm at. Just have a financial independence.
Yeah, I know Dan Lucen alluded to that Midwest Gaming Classic came close a number of times to being the last one. Yeah, as like,
okay.
But
every year I think it was the last one. You do one every year. I'm like, there's no way we can do this again, and then we do it again. So,
it's kind of in some ways it's like a drug. You want to. I guess it just depends on how things go one particular year, and then you see a path. You look for a path to get to the next one, and how it and what it's going to look like, and whether it's going to grow or it's going to scale back, or maybe even like Missouri GameCon, they have a junior version in a smaller scale, like Midway. I haven't been to the junior, but yeah, the big one.
Some of those juniors are almost as successful as the main one.
Maybe you have to look into that.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. It's something that we are looking at just so that we can have a model where we're saving profit for the budget for the next show. So makes a whole lot of sense.
Who do you think you want to bring into the next KC Retro?
It's a good question. Yeah, I always say, it was just like my girlfriends, I always say anybody who's interested in showing up, I'll definitely consider, bringing it into the fold, because anybody who's really has an interest in doing it and not getting paid to do it, that's a key, I think, because a lot of our budget is not set up to pay someone to come. So a lot of the YouTubers that we'd like to see at the show don't necessarily fit the mold because we can't really pay them to be there.
Right.
So I'd like to see people that want to show up just to show up.
I'm willing to come out and sign my trading card for an hour or so.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to run a booth. I only do that once a year. I was like, do I want to haul this stuff across 300 miles? I just do it once a year for Mo Game Con, and that's it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you gotta set your boundaries and what you're willing to do.
I don't know. I have attention deficit, so I want to move around and walk around and see stuff, and unless I'm preoccupied with something. But I guess
showing up and having your trading card and meeting people and just being pleasant. That's all that we, as a showrunner, want from guests.
Yeah,
we want them to be nice to other guests and make friends and build the community. I think that's like key there is to be. And I think that this year you coming to the show, I wasn't expecting it. And I saw you, I was like, it was, and I was kind of confused. It was your first, that you said it was your first show, and I was like, because I've met you before. I'm trying to think where where I met you at, but it was definitely Mo Game Con.
Missouri and Como.
Yeah.
I've been to a couple of Comos. Como is a week before Midwest Gaming this year or
Yeah.
next year.
Isn't that
So,
wild?
yeah.
It's
And
gonna
the
be a
same
busy week.
weekend. And there's a Midwest Comic Con is in Springfield, and 3 of the voice actors for Sonic the Hedgehog of one of the animated shows. One of the OG Red Ranger is going to be there too.
See, that would be great if we could figure out how to do that for KC Retro, getting some of those kind of people involved. But I definitely would have to come out of pocket, I think, for guests that are really well known in the pop culture realm.
Yeah, they'd have to be flown in, and
you'd have to fly them in. You have to put them in a hotel. Those kind of things cost money.
Yep. Yeah. We have pro wrestling at the game cons lately too. That's another. That's another thing that's in the mix.
Yeah, I don't even know how do you logistically figure that out. How to get them the right amount of space and the safety concerns, and I don't know.
They kind of have to have, well, you have the 18 by 18 ring, and then another 4 or 5 feet around the ring, and then you have to have several rows around the ring, and typically they just put it in a corner of the convention hall. But it looks like you had room to spare anyway. So
yeah, I think the 2 things with that room to spare, it's those damn pillars that are in the middle of the room.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like those. And it made it difficult to see around them.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of stuff. Just put a pillar right in the middle of someone's booth, they get really mad real quick.
Although it comes in handy if you're hanging, you just put signs on it.
Yeah.
And I utilize that instead of having to get a separate stand to put up your signage and advertising and stuff. So
yeah,
it's kind of like an anchor. Anyway, and I got a cat in front of my doggone mouse, and I can't even work the thing, and I'm trying to click on a message because I got some screen on here that I'm trying to get off. There we go. Oh, he's asking if Austin St. John, that will be Springfield, Illinois. This gentleman, it was on my pod, and he's out of Canada, so he had to come down. Anyway, yes, Austin St. John is coming to Springfield, Illinois.
That's a show I'd like to go to, that retro game show they have there.
Yes. Well, it's a Comic-Con in Springfield.
Oh, is it? Okay.
A regular Comic-Con, yes. Although Paul Niemer is going there, so he's got to have his Midway Mortal Kombat stuff there. But
yeah.
Anyway. Well, Nate, I want to thank you for coming in the Crimeycade tonight. And I don't know what David Bryant, I hope he's all right, but
I can't believe that. Next time I'm just gonna put it on my laptop and do that. I thought I would get away with it on my phone, and that was not true.
Well, sometimes the inverse is true, that the laptop is not wanting to work or the computer, and then they had to switch to their smartphone. But
yeah, it worked out in the end, I think.
Yes. David Bryant is doing his Augusta Retro Game Con for the first time.
Oh, wow.
So, wanted to find out, kind of learn from you as to what he has to expect in pulling off his first gaming convention in Augusta, Georgia. But
dang, that would have been a nice conversation. So
yes.
if you want to postpone that, I mean, put like a 15-minute time limit on or something, and have me, instead of having me talk with you for about over an hour. I don't know how interesting that was, but it was fun.
I get long-winded, and so I guess, and sometimes we go 3 hours. Depends on the guest.
Yeah.
So, and we have one person that holds the record, and we went 3 hours and 40 minutes. But I know him well, and he knows me well, and I've had him on. So we still more than 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Well, if you ever want to have me on the show again, I would love to come back on.
All right.
And I'll remember to put it on my laptop.
When do you think you'll have the next one? This for 26?
Yeah, so we're looking at dates with Overland Park. They have a very limited selection, so it's gonna be later in the year. I don't want to give the month or date away quite yet, but we're looking at late 2026, early 27. If at the worst case scenario, we'd be in 27. We might skip
a year.
We might skip a year. But if there's a strong possibility that I'll decide that within the next week or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck with that. Maybe we'll find out when that'll be, and I'll get it in the announcement rotation.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Stephen.
Oh, I didn't put this up. I should have done this earlier because we gotta have a website.
Yes, we do have a website.
KansasCityRetro.com. They're also on Facebook, and just look up Casey Retro on Facebook and follow that page.
Yeah, absolutely. If you like retro games, you like pinball, you like retro arcades, definitely a show for you. And if you're really competitive at gaming, there's the Tetris tournament that we have every year. So,
yeah, I can't.
Crazy.
Hang with
Those
them
guys
guys
are good.
Yeah, I had a Meister on my podcast and Cold Bucket a few weeks ago. So I'd like to interview Blue Scooty, but hasn't materialized yet. So
do you have a connection for him, or how was that?
I
working?
talked to him at the con and his mom, but
yeah, his mom, Karen. I would go through her if that was the case,
right?
And then just because I think he's still under 18, I think, so he might be wary of who he talks to on the internet. I don't know.
All right.
I don't know, but he would be great to have on.
I keep it clean around here.
Oh, I know. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that some people are more precautious.
Yes, understandable.
Yeah. No, if you ever need to, I could reach out to him too. I think I have his Facebook.
All right, Nate. Thank you for joining me tonight, and hope Merry Christmas and Happy New Year again.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I keep on forgetting that that's what time of year we're in. But you have it on.
You would think, but the forecast. Well, last weekend we had multiple inches of snow, sub-zero weather.
Yeah.
On Christmas Day, it's gonna be in the 60s.
That's crazy. I didn't even check the weather.
Snow is gone. It all melted off overnight. It's like I went to bed and the ground was covered in snow. And I wake up this morning to go to work, and there's no snow. There's very little snow on the ground except for piles. It all melted.
That's the Midwest for you, man.
It's 50 degrees this morning.
Yeah.
I went to work. Yeah. Although a few years ago it was that warm on Christmas Day too. So, and it's happened in the last few years. We've had unseasonably warm Christmas.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna get a warm winter this year. So more of
Where's
that.
Santa gonna drive a sleigh? He's got to get a sleigh with wheels on it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put wheels in that sleigh and a brake system or something. I don't know.
All right, Nate. Thank you for joining me on the Crimeycade, and my cat is now trying to throw stuff off my desk.
All right. Do I need to stay on here for? Or do you need to?
No, you could go.
How does it work?
Nope. You can take off. You can just kind of you can just listen in to the rest of it. I got a few more things I'm going to go through and then
Okay.
sign off for the night. But Nate,
I'll
thank
try to
you.
find the link again. Here you go. We'll see you later.
All right. Have a good night. All right. That was Nate Walker, and a few more items I have before we get out of here. Stop share screen. I think I might cut them off a little bit. Here we go. So I was trying to decide when it's going to go back to Galvin Ghost Arcade because there's not been many high scores set lately in the last few weeks. Jim Patzer made his way back to the Galvin Ghost and set a new house high on Mighty Bomb Jack with closing in on 800,000, 792,000 points for the new house high. He also scored the biggest blowout on NFL Blitz, 64 point margin. And yes, he was a recent guest at the Galvin Ghost, Brian Colin. So the Arcade Wars game has been announced. Finally, Super Pac-Man. Unfortunately, it's been announced as of the 18th, so we only got 2 weeks to go to get the scores in for it. But Stephen Holmes says he got a little busy and wasn't able to get this out sooner until I messaged him and asked, are we having an Arcade Wars game? And the chase for tokens, Andrew Owasco has broken that 11,000 mark. The chase for tokens is basically one metric we have. Yes. Brian Colin is promoting his new General Chaos game. There is a Kickstarter. Why? On that, I posted a link on the Crimeycade Facebook page. You can find it there. Challenge card update. Andrew Wasco has completed his level 5. Clay Capello has completed his level 5 card. So we're going to have level 6 cards to be issued out probably next week. I thought I was going to go up to Galvin Ghost this weekend, but I want 3 days to go up there. So I got stuff to do and I need the Christmas shop. But right now, as it stands, and I need to advance the slide. Let's get this going. Here we go. Well, Mossy Zagopian has completed more challenge cards than anybody else, so he's still the front runner. Claudio and Andrew on his heels. I am looking for guests. If you work in gaming, if you're a returning competitor, great contact, have no erotic, you're a gaming fanatic, I want to talk to you. So send me a message on my Facebook page, Facebook/Crimeycade. You can also whisper to me here on Twitch as well. And unfortunately, David Bryant had an emergency at home and had to depart. He was having some technical difficulties, but this is the Augusta Video Gaming Expo. The guests for that, this will be the first one. Yes, thanks. You're welcome. You're welcome, Nate. Oh, thanks for following me too. That I need as many followers as I can get. Augusta Video Game Expo, Paul Niemeyer and Michael Thomason will be the guests at that event on March 21st at the Doubletree Hotel in Augusta, Georgia from 11 a.m. to 7 o'clock. So, then following that, Como Retro at the Northeast Event Center. Yeah, this is, I may go to this. Who knows? I mean, I could still go to Midwest Retro or Midwest Comic Con because it runs Saturday and Sunday. So maybe I can meet the Raid Ranger after all. And a few others. Although, doggone it, their autograph prices, jeez. I'm glad I don't buy autographs or anything. I don't collect them. Anyway, Midwest Gaming Classic, as I mentioned earlier, the Hilton Milwaukee Hotel is sold out. They're out of rooms, or at least on Saturday. If you're only going and staying Friday night, you can get a hotel room there. But beyond that, Saturday, forget it. You're gonna have to go to one of the alternative hotels like the DoubleTree, which is across the street. They have three. They partnered with three other hotels. So get your tickets now. Get your hotel room. The longer you wait, the further away you're gonna have to walk to get into the 25th anniversary. So New Year's Day, I will be doing a stream on Thursday night. Be doing a year in review. Talk about a few things that went on during the year that was 2025, and there's a lot to talk about. I didn't even get to a couple of topics on my list. Geez, there's been problems with censorship on social media, trying to keep kids off the platform. Judges in 4 states have struck down laws demanding age verification to use social media. We had the tragic incident in Australia, the mass shooting there, and the answer to dealing with some future situations like that is more censorship. That's the wrong way to go. We also had the tragedy at Brown University earlier this week as well. Just lost a former PGA golfer in a plane crash. That situation happened today. Not a golfing fan. My dad might know more about that. There's also the bizarre violation of privacy risk, as the former Kotaku editor, Melissa McCarthy, is wanting personal information from Discord as to who uses the platform. Oh gosh, they did find the shooting suspect at Brown, and he was found deceased. Yeah, I could be watching that situation as time goes along, but that was a mess over there. Yeah. Anyway, well, 2 weeks from now, New Year's Day, because I'm going to work on January the 2nd, so I had to burn my vacation time, so I took Mondays off. Everybody took their time off on the back part of the week. I took my time off in the front part of the week. So I'm going to be at the last Monday mystery game for 2025 at the Galloping Ghost Arcade. So get my level 2 challenge card. Anyway, so that will do it for this edition. I am going to rate a channel. So who's streaming tonight? Let's see. What is this? Is he playing? This looks like. Is this double troubleshooter he's playing? Let me see. Oh, this is troubleshooter. Except it looks like he just once he's ended the game. Oh well. Yeah, troubleshooter. No, I'm gonna pick a different channel. Let's see, who am I gonna raid? Oh, anyway, Merry Christmas. I will see you on New Year's Day. Gosh, there's the football game. Is the Rams are in the lead? If you haven't watched that, all right. I'm going to raid the Brotherford. He is playing Shodokan 2, and he says that is the final stream for it. So also known as Balmania. Okay, cool. I'll be giving the raid to the Rutherford, and you can let him know what happened tonight. Oh, this is an RPG. All right. Well, till next time, I am the Mac Crime Fighter, and have a good night, everybody.